Hey everybody, this is Mr. P, coming to you with your e-learning lesson for Math 10 for Tuesday, April 28th. And we're beginning our unit on circles, so we're just going to start with kind of an intro lesson today, defining some terminology, just doing some basic calculations with different segments in the circle. Then we'll build on that throughout the week, okay? By the way, your assignment for this section will be on Alex, okay, for 428. And so basically a circle is, it's just a set of points that are all equally as far away from a point we call the center of the circle. So all the points on the circle are equally as far away from that center point. We name a circle, in fact, by the center point. So let's say there's a center point, it's P, okay, and we would just call this circle P, or a little circle with a dot in it and then a P. That's a shortcut way to write it. Some terms related to a circle. So a radius, what's a radius? It's a segment in a circle that has one endpoint on the center of the circle and the other on the circle. So this is basically half the distance across the circle through the center. So like XY, that would be a radius. We remember segment XY, that's the way we write segment, the little symbol. That's a radius of circle X, since X is the center. And you might see the term radii. Okay, radii is just a plural term for radius. What's a diameter? A diameter, okay, it's a segment with two endpoints on the circle that runs through the center of the circle. So a diameter is actually 2 times what the radius is. So it's the entire distance across the circle through the center point. Okay, so like here in this diagram, segment AC, that would be a diameter. The entire distance from A to C, that would be a diameter of circle B. Okay, because B is the center point of that circle. What is a chord? Okay, it's any segment that has 2 endpoints on the circle. And actually, a diameter, in this case, like FE, that's also considered a chord. It's just a specific type of chord. But a chord doesn't have to go through the center. So like CD, segment CD, that's also a chord because it has 2 endpoints on the circle. Okay, so part of what you'll be doing is identifying what a radius in a circle, the diameter, what a chord is, and also you'll be doing some calculations. Let's say you're given the radius or the diameter and you have to find one or the other. So let's look at an example. All right. This will be like one of the problems you'll have, 4-part problem on your assignment. Okay, so you have a few problems like this. All right, so let's say I have a circle and the center point is B. Okay, so I have circle B, or a little symbol there that represents circle. And let's go ahead and draw some segments. So here's A, and then there's C, and let's do another segment branching off here. So we'll put a point D right here, and let's go ahead and put another segment. So here's L, and we'll put point P. All right, and let's go ahead and look at this. So this is basically how one of the problems you're going to do is going to work. So first of all, let's say name a chord. Name a chord. Remember, a chord is any segment that has 2 endpoints on the circle. So let's look up LP. That has 2 endpoints on the circle, right? So segment LP. Remember, we can also call that PL. With the segment, the order doesn't matter. And then another one could be what? So AC, right? Because A, this is a C here, this is an L, okay? AC has 2 endpoints on the circle, or remember, we can also call that CA. So those will both be examples. In most cases, I think you'll just be asked to pick one. B, name a diameter. Well, according to the diagram, remember diameter is the segment that has two endpoints on the circle that runs through the center. The only one that matches with that would be segment AC or CA. Remember, we can name it either way. So segment CA or segment AC. C, or parts, third part of our problem, name a radius. All right, so we have to name a radius. Remember, radius is segment's got one endpoint on the center, one point on the circle. So that's half the distance across the circle through the center. So let's take a look. Oh, dB. Okay, that would be a radius, right? Because it has an endpoint on the circle, and then the other endpoint is the center. So dB. Remember, we can also call that BD. What would be another example of a radius? Okay. How about AB or BA, right? This is a segment, can be considered a separate segment here. BA, AB. And there's one more that could be it's actually a radius here, right? What would it be? It would be BC or CB. Okay, and last part, and this will vary a little bit depending on the problem, but let's say I give you the information, let's say if dB is equal to 5, what is AC? Okay, so let's figure this out. dB is equal to 5. Alright, so let's say this is 5. dB is what? dB is a radius. Okay? So dB is a radius. And remember, any radius going from the center to the edge is going to have the same length. So let's look at what other lengths we know based on dB. So BA, that's also a radius, right? So that would also be 5. BC is a radius, that would be 5. Okay? So basically we know we have dB. dB is equal to AB, which is also equal to BC. Right? They're all equal to 5. So AC is what we're asked for. So remember, segment addition, the two parts of a bigger segment, the two smaller segments, AB plus BC, AB plus BC is going to give us AC. So AB plus BC equals AC, and so that's just 5 and 5, right? 5 plus 5, and that's going to equal 10. Boom, so AC is equal to 10. Alright, so again, your assignment for this section is on ALEKS, e-learning 428. So you'll have problems basically like this, naming chords, diameters, radii, and then basically a calculation part. You're given one length, you're asked to find another. Okay, so until next time, see you guys later.